Hello, I'm EG, and this is Crocheting with EG, and in this video I have another yarn haul, and I know I don't need any more yarn. I'm going to say that every single time I do a yarn haul video, probably, ever since I got my big, clearance yarn haul from Hobby Lobby. But I got some skeins from Ollie's. I got a couple skeins from Michael's too, because they keep sending me coupons. And the big haul, I guess, is the ones from Ollie's, which technically don't count towards my hoard, because these are from my niece. So it doesn't technically count. But Ollie's. I guess the story was that these Bernat skeins were supposed to be going to Joann, but then they must have bought them out before they went to Joann, because Joann was closing and everything. And so I guess these are still the skeins that were supposed to go to Joann, but they're Bernat blanket yarns. And so I'd gotten some before, and I showed them in another haul video. I was thinking about something else. So I've already shown those in another haul video. But then I follow Ollie's on social media, and they posted this picture that they were showing that they were putting out more Bernat blanket yarn, and these were like different colorways and stuff. And so I went ahead and because I thought they might not have it in my store, but I went there, and luckily I did, because they did have a lot of those skeins that were in the new picture. So I did get some of those for my niece, and they had so much of it that they had to put in another end cap, or this little metal rack thing that I'd never seen before in their store. So they had a bunch of this yarn. They still had a lot from the last time too, the big cakes of yarn. But they still had some of that left. But I guess nobody bought that either. But this is new yarn too. And then, of course, the Michael's yarn. So I'll show the Ollie's Bernat blanket yarn first. So these are from my niece, so these aren't my yarns, but whatever. So this is a Bernat blanket speckle. These were $5 a piece. I didn't have a coupon, but $5 for this is good. And like I said, I don't really think about the price when I buy stuff for my niece. Not that often. I mean, if the skein was $50, I wouldn't buy it for. But you know what I'm saying. I would think, well, if I wish I had a coupon, I'd probably buy it if I had a coupon. But even if it was $5. But for my niece, it's well, she'll enjoy playing with it and whatever. And so I'm just put it in my cart. Don't even really think about it, but because it's her. But anyway, so this is the Bernat blanket speckle, and this is called Winter Leaf. It's kind of like a cream color as the base, and then has these sort of like an olive sort of green speckled in. It's really pretty, and she'll have fun playing with this or whatever. I mainly wanted to do this haul because she's probably gonna be coming back over here, and wanting to play with more of her yarn. She's since come over here since I did my yarn wall. I'll talk about it at the end of the video. And so I got her that one, and I wanted to do this video because I wanted to get these because I had them in a bag over there in my corner in my I was going to say laundry room, but it's like a yarn room at this point. And I'm just thinking the next time she comes over, she's probably going to think, what's in that bag? She's going to think it's a surprise or whatever, and it will be. But I wanted to do a yarn haul and film the yarn in a video first before I gave it to her. So I feel like I have to do this video because otherwise she's going to wonder what that big bag is over there. And so I'll be able to give them to her now. So there's that one, and then another one of these Bernat blanket. Perfect phasing. There was one that was purple in the last time I got there, but they had got it from there, and they had a blue one, and this one is just called Deep Teal, and it has it's sort of that same kind of thing like the purple, except it's blue. It goes from a dark blue, and then it goes out into a white, or almost a white. It's sort of like a light blue, but one of these, and so another one $5, and then they had one of these Bernat blanket extra, and so it's an extra thick one, and see, this is a 7 jumbo. This is probably a 6. Yeah, it's a 6 super bulky. So this is a 7 jumbo, and the colorway is called Speckled Moonrise. See what I'm saying? So ridiculous. Anyway, so this is Speckled Moonrise. So it's green and blue, and has has some burgundy and light blue, and so, some gray color in it. And so this is a thicker one. So she'll have fun with that. She did get to use her big crochet hook, but that was when she came over here. And then this one, I feel like it's the same kind of way. Yeah, Bernat Blanket Extra, and then this is just like a solid color called Burgundy Plum, and that it is kind of like a purplish burgundy color. And so there's those 4, and those are the only 4 that they had in my store, like the new ones in my store. They may have had a couple extras in the picture on I don't know. I have it like sitting on my shoulder like an 8. I don't know. I can't remember if this was like all of them in the picture, but I remember that the green speckle was one in the picture, and then this blue one especially. And so I wanted to get those, and so they did have those. So those are the ones from Ollie's. So those are for my niece, and I'll be able to put it with her yarn now. Although I don't know where to put it. Her yarn wall is getting a little full too. I'm going to have to reorganize that too. And then the only other skeins. Oh no! While I was at Ollie's, I got another one of these. Except this one's green. Like one of these. I swear, it just reminds me of like a skein of yarn. Although she said it was like, when she came over and saw that yellow one, she said it reminded her of not a soccer ball, a volleyball, or what, I guess it kind of does remind you of that. And then my mom said it kind of looks like bananas, like it really does, like this, like if the yellow one were the right banana, was the right bananas, this is like a cluster of unripened bananas, but you know, because it's like all green and stuff. So I got another one of these. I didn't need this, but like it's really cool to look at. And my niece, every time she came over a couple of times, and she loves to like play around with this, and she just had it in her playroom on her bed and stuff, and she just like likes having fun with it. And so but now that there's a green one or whatever, and so got that too. That was $5. And then so the only other yarn that I got was from Michael's, and they sent me a 30% off coupon and then a 40% off coupon. And so or no wait, first of all, I went in there just looking for I went in there looking to see if they had of course they had the Pride stuff. I already bought some of their Pride stuff, but I was looking to see if they like had any more. They had some shirts that were really cool, but what I hate, I'd be able to fit into these shirts if I wasn't such a big fat ass, but like what I hate is like shirts like that, or like shirts in the stores like the really cool like fandom related shirts, like Nintendo, or like something cool like some TV show, right? They never go beyond like 2X, and like I wear like a 6X, but I could fit into like a 5X, maybe even a 4X. I like to wear big bulky shirts or whatever. Shirts are like way bigger than I need to, but like still I'm never going to be able to fit into a 2X, and I mean I'm just the joke in my head that I've said before, I said this in the last time I was on YouTube, is that like it's stupid that like fandom kind of related shirts, like like Nintendo or whatever, Nintendo shirts, or like Super Mario Brothers or whatever, it's stupid that they only go up to like 2X, because if you spent your whole childhood playing a Nintendo, you're probably too big of a fat ass to like fit into a 2X anyway. And like there are all these like people that are walking around like in their 20s or whatever, like, oh, I'm wearing Nintendo, when they grew up and they had no idea what a Nintendo was. Like people like us that grew up playing Nintendo and stuff would love to wear a Super Mario shirt, can't find them in our size, because we played Super Mario and like sat on our asses for like a decade playing Super Mario growing up. And so most of us aren't stick thin or whatever, you know what I'm saying. It's just kind of irritating that like the really cool fandom shirts and stuff, and like the stuff that has to do with like the things that we grew up watching, or loving, all the movies and TV shows and video games and all that kind of stuff. They're all like for these little teenagers and stuff to think, oh look, I'm vintage, I'm wearing these cool vintage t-shirt, like you don't even know what Nintendo was, you know what I'm saying. It's just kind of irritating. And so so it's that same sort of thing. I know it's sort of went off on a tangent, but like I went into Michael's just to see their Pride stuff, and they have like these really cool Pride shirts, but they only go up to like 2X. Every time I see a nice shirt in a nice shirt in a store that is like TV related or Pride related or like whatever, it's they only go up to 2X, and so it's just kind of irritating. Of course, if I was if I like worked out more and got thinner or whatever, I'd be able to fit into it. But yeah, I'm gonna get a workout. I'm gonna be like really big and bulky or buff, and have like a 6-pack abs or whatever. Sitting around crocheting for all the time. No, maybe I need to get out more and exercise more, and maybe I'll fit into those shirts and be on here are complaining about it so much. But anyway, it's just like a pet peeve. One of my many pet peeves, obviously. Anyway, so the I'm about to go off on a tangent. I might just cut this out, but like me, like saying, like as I was talking, I was saying, God, I'm talking way too fast, and I know that a lot of people, luckily, because I have to say that to myself, like, you know, calm down, or like take a breath, and people, you know, do that in the comments now, and say, like, you know, remember to take a breath, because I'm like a motor mouth, and but like the reason why I'm a motor mouth is because I've always been so self-conscious about how I talk, and how sometimes it's hard for me to catch up with my brain, and like it works a little too fast, and I am a motor mouth because I'm trying to like get my thoughts out and get my words out before my thought, you know, flies away. And so I'm always getting jumbled up in my words and stuff, and so I've always been self-conscious about how I talk and how I sort of stumble in my words and stuff. And so probably the reason why I'm such a motor mouth now is because for years I was self-conscious about how I talked, and I started to learn like tongue twisters and stuff. And this is completely like a total it has nothing to do with crochet, but you know, anyway, but I used to learn tongue twisters and stuff to, like, you know, improve my diction or whatever, because I was so self-conscious about it. And there's this part on I used to watch MADtv. If you like, my sense of humor is more MADtv than Saturday Night Live. If you understand that reference, then you know you're the perfect kind of person to be here. But like, my sense of humor is very MADtv. And so there was this sketch with these people that have these really long, complicated names or whatever, but they were like these tongue twisters or whatever. And shoot, what's her name? See, like, that's why I can't remember, like, to call out people in my videos or whatever, because I can barely remember, like, celebrity names and stuff. Deborah Wilson. Sorry, I'm not calling people out, on these videos that I know, like, that have commented down below. And subscribed and all that stuff. I'll do that in the future. But, anyway, so, but go back to this tangent, not, you know, on the second one, but there's this sketch with Deborah Wilson and or Alex Borstein's in it too, and Will Sasso or whatever, and they have these like really complicated long-winded names or whatever, and because I was so self-conscious about my diction and how I talk or whatever, I intentionally learned those names or whatever, and to like to say them over and over again. And so maybe that's why sometimes I talk like really quickly, and like you almost have to slow down what I say because I talk so fast. It's because for years I've just been self-conscious about it, and so I've like intentionally try to speak better so that I can get all of my words out, even if it sounds like really fast like this, like, you know what I'm saying. So I know it's irritating or whatever, for people that just want to watch a crochet video or a yarn video, and like I've seen YouTubers that, you know, usually talk about yarn, and they talk like this, and here are the specs for this gorgeous, like I'm not that kind of person. I'm never going to be like that. I'm going to be talking like this and like a motor mouth. But anyway, so let me go back to the whole MADtv thing. But there's that sketch with Deborah Wilson, and there's this one line that she says, and I learned it, and I'm probably going to mess it up. But she says, and once Professor Lick had really passing back made his remarkable discovery about the snipped bit of the Professor Lick tip talk with English Tackle Fat Foundation sprang into action. And so like I used to repeat that over and over again, and those are their names, like, you know, Fester Lip and Chip and Chalk Withering Lick Tackle Fat, and like all these ridiculous names. And the way like Deborah Wilson has like the way she can do that in that sketch, like I can barely do it as well as she does in that sketch, and they're all just so great saying all those names. And so like there's a couple names that she didn't say in that one line that I used to repeat over and over again, and I made my own little version of it to like include all the names. It doesn't make sense in the context of the original sketch, but it's sort of like saying like, you know, where you work or who you work with or whatever. And so with the other names, the thing became, I work with Professor Lick and Half Philly Passing Beck and Ramon Von Clacken Dackadackle Fat News and Research at the Sappy Chicken Pitabacus and the Professor Lippy Chip Talk Worthing Tackle Fat Foundation for Unwed Mothers. And so like it's ridiculous, but like that's how ridiculous I am of a person, and how self-conscious I am about how I talk or whatever. And I don't mean to say that like if you call me out and tell me to like calm down, that, you know, you're making me feel bad about it. No, I'm saying that like I've been self-conscious about it my entire life. And so like if you need to take a minute to like put it down in the comments to like, you know, take a breath or calm down or whatever, don't talk so fast, it's not going to offend me, because like you know, I need that, you know, if you want me to like take a breath or whatever. But that I just wanted to say that, go off on that, you know, ridiculous, stupid tangent that makes no sense, that doesn't have anything to do with yarn. Just to, you know, show that like that's how self-conscious I've been about my speech and stuff, and that's why I probably have turned into a motor mouth even worse than I already was, because of like, you know, learning tongue twisters and stuff like that my whole life, and it is because like my brain works so fast that sometimes it's hard for me to get my words out, and so I feel like if I felt like if I made my diction better, then I could speak more clearly, and I could get my thoughts out as fast as my brain works, because otherwise they're just going to get all jumbled up coming out, and then I'm going to get frustrated, or then, you know, be in my head and thinking, why did it come out like that, and then I'm going to get even more jumbled up. So even if I talk, you know, really quickly like that and say, you know, Professor Lick can have Philly pass it back, at least I'm like getting the words out, and yeah, they're, you know, faster than a lot of people like, or whatever, or you know, I still stumble on my words or whatever, but like I think I'm speaking better than I was years ago. And so I'm sorry if like I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry if like you find the way that I speak an issue, or like the way I talk and the way I'm sort of a motor mouth, but that's just how I am. So I just wanted to kind of explain that, even if this is like a random tangent or whatever. Are you even watching at this point? You're probably thinking, oh my god, I can't even understand what he's saying. You know, once I got to like, you know, Professor Lick, you were like, oh, I don't even know what he's saying. Anyway, so that was just like a completely random tangent, and I may cut out, I have no idea. But anyway, so let me get back to the yarn. And so Michael sent me some coupons, and so Michael's sent a 30% off one item coupon, or no, that was a tangent. First of all, I went into Michael's looking for the Pride stuff, and then I went off on that tangent about t-shirts and stuff. See what I'm saying? Ridiculous. Ridiculous person. So I was in there, and then they had some yarn. It was a Loops and Threads Charisma, and this is another tangent that I'm going to go off on, but I've already gotten some of their yarn like that before. The Loops and Threads Charisma that Michael, the Crafty Crocheter, had in his video, and I showed in another yarn haul, and I've since made a hat out of this. God, it's gorgeous. I mean, not on me, but like I'm saying, like the hat is gorgeous. This is what the hat looks like, and like the day I'm filming this, Shell from the Shell Chronicles. She's so sweet. Like she's like the nicest person, and she's like called me out in all her videos and stuff. And I wanted to, I like put her name in like the video, like on the screen or one of my videos. But I haven't called her out, and I should have. Like she's called me out in the live videos and stuff. And Shell, I'm really sorry that I haven't called you out in a video. You're just like the sweetest person. I can't believe I don't deserve like all the praise you give me, because I'm just like a ridiculous person, whatever. But like she's like the sweetest person. Go to her and see her videos or whatever. And like she speaks better than I do, and yet I'm like exceeded her number of subscribers. And so I sort of feel bad about there's some people that have commented on my videos, and not that I'm like taking away from like the my channel's growth or whatever, but like I sort of feel bad that like there are people that are commenting on my videos, and then and they're like crocheters too, and then I go to their channels, and they don't have as many subscribers as I do, and I feel like I don't deserve it. I mean, they do. I don't know, maybe it's just like me. There's a part of me that like doesn't want to accept compliments, or doesn't want to accept things like that, and so it's not that I feel like I don't deserve. I just feel like, you know, we all deserve, you know, subscribers and comments and likes and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like she is like the nicest person, and she's called me out, and then I'm thinking, how is it that I've exceeded, or at this point when I'm filming this video, hopefully in the future she'll, you know, get the credit that she deserves, but like I just don't understand like how the whole algorithm works, and how like I can have more subscribers than she does, because she's like such a nice person, and she's like so giving, and she's always calling people out, and like steering people towards other channels and stuff. And she's probably the reason why my channel has grown the way it has, because she's, you know, called me out several times and stuff, and you know, I don't know. She's just like the nicest part. There's so many people in my comments and like and subscribers and stuff that, you know, deserve to share in some of this stuff, and have as many subscribers as I do, if not more, and comments and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know. But 19 minutes. But but the reason I went off on that tangent about Shell is she like as the day I'm filming this, she was talking about she made this really nice hat, like she knit a hat. I haven't picked up knitting yet or anything, but I forget what it's called, a cable hat, and it's really cool, and I love the look of knitting or whatever, because it's just such a distinctive look, or yeah, distinctive look compared to like crochet, but I haven't picked up knitting or anything, but I told her that because she made this hat in one of her videos. I'll link that down below too. Go support her, please, because like she supports me way more than I deserve or whatever, and she deserves some support too, but like way more than I do probably. And so. And she does live videos. Like I'm not gonna do any live videos, but she does live videos and giveaways, and she's always calling people out. She's such a nice person. But anyway, so she did this like video with where she knitted a cable hat, and so I mentioned like that I made a hat recently too, and because like she said that, you know, she's gonna wear it even though it's really hot, and because I totally related, because when I made this hat, which I haven't even shown the camera yet, I was like wearing it around, like it was, the humidity was high, and we're like about to get storms or whatever, and it was like, you know, in the 90s or whatever, and I was like walking around with this ridiculous hat on, made out of chunky yarn, and like I could literally go like the hat was on, I could literally go like this, and then like have, you know, sweat on my finger, like it was that hot, but I didn't care because I was like walking around. I was really proud of it. I know I look ridiculous in hats and stuff, but I was really proud of this hat, and I thought I'm gonna wear this wear this freaking thing around, no matter how hot I get in it, and so because I was really proud of it, and so I was just like having that conversation with Shell in a comment or whatever, telling her that, you know, she should be proud of her hat too, and all that stuff. But and so that's the whole reason I mentioned her. But so anyway, back to the yarn. So I did tangent. I did make tangent, what, number 65, 57? No, so this is the hat that I made out of that yarn. It makes like the perfect kind of I mean, I know it looks ridiculous, but it makes the perfect kind of, I wanted to have like a, no, I guess this is called a beanie, like the ones where like when I was growing up, this was always a toboggan, but like I wanted to have a hat that was like this kind of size, where it wasn't so long that I had to like flip it up like this and have like a brim. I wanted to have it where it would just be like the perfect size, and I wouldn't have to have like a brim when I had to fold up. And so I made it with this chunky yarn, because I had bought 2 skeins of that, because, you know, Michael, the Craft Crocheter, had it in his video, and I wanted to get some of it because it's gorgeous colors. I mean, you know, purple and teal, or I've already showed it, but like black and purple and teal, and it like just reminds you of the colors of Northern Lights. It's just gorgeous, and it makes a gorgeous hat, you know, even though it's on me. But like, you know what I'm saying? But I was literally going like this the whole time, like, just walking around, and I was thinking, why am I like getting sweaty? And then I was like, it was like sweaty. But I didn't care. I was just like walking around wearing it. But so that it's like chunky yarn, but it makes like the perfect kind of hat, and the colors are just gorgeous on this in this, and the reason why I thought about this is because she had said that she wanted to see what my hat Shell wanted to see what my hat looked like, and so I don't know when this video is going to come out in the sequence, because I've already filmed a bunch of videos that haven't come out yet, so but anyway, whenever it comes out, then that's why I filmed that hat, but anyway, so I'd gotten that colorway, and I really loved it. And so when I was looking in Michael's, after I didn't see any more Pride stuff, or you know, saw some shirts that wouldn't fit my big fat ass, they had some more of the Charisma, and I had never seen this colorway in my store before. I'm hoping that with Michael's buying Joanne's intellectual property and all that kind of stuff, it's gonna make it where they're going to have more yarn, and they stock more yarn in their stores and stuff, and because they do have yarn, they just don't have as much in my store, but they have this colorway, and I bought 2 of these. I actually bought these full price. Like, what a shock. I didn't need it, but like, they're so pretty, and this hat turned out so nice with this yarn. I thought 1 skein of this sort of equals a hat, and like I probably wouldn't wear a hat like this color. I mean, I love vibrant colors and stuff, but you know, it's like, I don't know if I'd wear a hat like this with all these colors in it. Maybe in a place where I felt more comfortable or whatever. I always feel comfortable in Michael's and stuff. But you know what I'm saying. And so but this colorway is called Passion multi, and it has just like pink and purple and like a light teal and green and yellow and just like these gorgeous colors. And I saw that and I thought, like, why didn't they have this in my store before? And so I bought these. I bought these two full price, but you know, from Michaels. And but then the thing with Michaels is if you buy something full price, you also think, well, that's going to turn into points because I'm like one of the rewards members or whatever. And it's going to turn into points, which will turn into like getting me a voucher down the road. And so, you know, it doesn't feel like the excuses I make up in my head. I make excuses for shopping in freaking Hobby Lobby all the time, and then make excuses for like, well, it's full price, but you know, eventually it's going to turn into like a voucher, like you know, 3 weeks from now, but whatever. The excuses that we make to buy yarn that we don't need. But anyway, so I bought 2 of those full price, so they were like $5 a piece. But you know, it just feels like, you know, this is a hat, so like $5 for a hat, you know, or whatever. Not for me. I'll probably, if I turn this into a hat, I'll probably sell it because I don't know if I'd wear that. But I did wear this, even though it has like some purple and teal in it and stuff. Because it's just too gorgeous not to wear. As ridiculous as I look in it. But anyway, so I bought those, and then I don't know if it's because I bought those or what, but Michaels sent me. Not Michael, the Crafty Crochet. Yeah, he sent me one of his coupons. No, Michaels sent me a 30% off coupon, or 30% off one item coupon, and then 40% off one item coupon. And so I thought maybe I can use them the same day. In one of my videos before, I said that I wouldn't have the guts to like go up to the register and say, can I use these 2 coupons in the same day, but like just use this one as a different transaction and this one in another transaction. Like I didn't feel like confident enough to do that, so I did this thing where I used one coupon one day, and then I or that day, and then I drove somewhere else, and then I came back and used the second coupon as if I just happened to get another coupon, but I had them both at the same time. So I thought I'm sort of beyond that at this point. I'm such a I've just sort of embraced the fact that I'm like a couponer and a deal finder and stuff. So I thought, frick it. I'm just gonna say I have 2 coupons. Can I buy these 2 skeins of yarn and just separate transactions or whatever? And that's what I did. And so they just rang it up as 2 separate transactions, and I got to use both coupons the same day. And so what was I gonna? I had a tangent I was gonna go off on. Now I completely forgot. Maybe it'll come to me. But so I found 2 more charisma. This was another day. I went there with the 30% off. Oh, no, I don't know what it was. I know it's frustrating. Imagine living like this. It's so frustrating. If you're trying to decipher which tangent I'm on or where I am in the stories or whatever, imagine being like this and you being the one actually verbalizing it and trying to figure it out. It's frustrating. Frustrating as all hell. So anyway, when I had the 30% off and the 40% off coupon, somebody in the comments said that what I should do is for the big coupons, buy something big, and because it would mean more off than if I bought something big, how I bought some of that real thin yarn in the hanks from the Hobby Lobby clearance, and I said that I didn't have a Swift or whatever, I called it an umbrella thing that opened up. Somebody in the comments reminded me that it was called a Swift. I don't have one of those, and I don't have a yarn winder, although I prefer to roll it by hand because it reminds me of my mom when she crochets and stuff, and so that's why I do that. Because I feel like I don't need a yarn winder. I can just roll it by hand. I love those. I mean, those cakes look really cool. How they roll up or whatever, or wind up. But I don't really need that. But I could probably use that Swift for those hanks of yarn. But I just feel like those are probably the only hanks that I'm ever going to buy, unless I do come across more that are clearance, because the regular price on those was ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous for a reason, because it was a hand-dyed yarn. But I don't see myself getting a lot of hanks of yarn, because they're usually the more pricier yarns, and I'm a deal finder. I'm a cheap person, and so I'm not the kind of person that expects to get a whole bunch of hanks or whatever that would require one of those Swifts or whatever, as cool as they are. And so Yeah, it sort of feels like a waste, and I'm like, getting a 50. I got a 50% off coupon too, off of one item. Yeah, spending that on like one skein of yarn, like when I could put that 50% off coupon towards something a little bit more pricier, but sometimes it feels like my going into my Michaels, as much as I want to support them, it sort of feels like I'm like searching around for like something to use the coupon for. I mean, they have some nice stuff in there, but I just feel like because my Michaels is a little disappointing when I go in. Not the people, I love the people in there. They're so they're the nicest freaking people. As nice as the people that were in Joanne, and I love the people in Michaels. But like going into the store, it's just like if I have a coupon or a voucher or something, it's just like, what am I going to buy? And it's sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out what to buy, not because there's such a big selection, but because there's such a small one in my store. And I'm just thinking, I want to use this on something, but like, what do I buy? And I hate that because Michael's could be so much better. It's just disappointing when I go in there sometimes. And so yeah, I would love to think, oh, I can use a 50% off coupon on like a big expensive thing, but like some of the like the only thing I would think to get like it would be a Swift, but I don't really need that. But like those are like $40 or $50 or $60, whatever it is on in there. And then I know that like there's one on Amazon, like regular price is $30, and so I'm thinking, do I waste this voucher? So I know it would be like I'm wasting a voucher if I'm using it for a skein of yarn, but I would feel like if I'm spending it like on a something that's $60 in there to get it down to $30, it would feel like a waste of that coupon because I know I could get it for that half off price, regular price on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but then I wouldn't be supporting Michaels or whatever, and I don't know, but. So that's why I like spend all these coupons with like a skein of yarn, because I know I'm going to use that, and it's easier than just like going through there for 15 minutes trying to figure out like, I guess I could buy this thing that I don't really need and don't really want, but like I want to use the coupon, I want to support them, but you know what I'm saying? Like how much prize stuff could I get, or how much? There's nothing. I mean, the beads are nice, I guess, but I have plenty of beads, and like I don't know what to get in there. I don't need any paints or anything. I have some paints, and they don't sell that moldable plastic in any frickin' craft store anywhere, not even Hobby Lobby or Michaels or nowhere. It's just irritating. I have plenty of the moldable plastic, but like if they had like a big bag of moldable plastic, that would have been a perfect thing to spend a 50% off coupon on, or for, or with, or who cares? But you know what I'm saying. I just hate that like. I'm always having to like, what can I use this for? But anyway, so I know it feels like a little bit of a waste to use the coupons on like on like one skein of yarn, but that's just what because I know I'm going to use it. So I used a 30% off I don't know which one is which, but I used a 30% off coupon for one of these, and then 40% off coupon for one of these. And so they had more of the loops and threads charisma, and this one like this seems more like a feminine hat. Or, if you're a man and you want to wear this, I'm not like judging you. Me with my like rainbow costume, you know what I'm saying. It just feels like the kind of colors like my mom would probably like pinks and like a darker pink and light pink and sort of a tan color. Really nice skein of yarn that would make like a pretty hat or something. And so there's this one, and this one's called Rose Garden Multi. Perfect kind of colorway name. So I got that one 30% off or 40% off, whatever. And then this one, they had two that are kind of like a grayish color. This one is called charcoal tweed, or charcoal tweed stripe, and so it has like the grays and stuff in it, but in certain light it almost has like this green kind of tinge to it, but I liked this one more. They had another one that had more black in it, but it had like a brown in it, and so I didn't get that one. I got this one, even though like in like the Michaels lights, the lights that it feels like they're the lights that they put in those jewelry counters that make everything look all sparkly. In their lights, it almost has like this green tinge to it, a little bit, even though it's called charcoal. But so I got this one instead, because I thought this would be like a hat that I would probably wear more than the other one that had like some browns and stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? saying. And so like I got those, and then I got a 50% off coupon because I'm still on Joanne's mailing list. And then this was a couple weeks or not a couple weeks, couple days, whatever, after it was announced that that Michaels had bought Joanne's intellectual property. And so if you're on the Joanne mailing list, I'm assuming you probably got the same email I did, where they sent a 50% off one item coupon to Michaels, like using the Joanne email list to like send out a Michaels coupon to get people to go to Michaels, because Michaels is going to start carrying some of the big twist yarn and all that stuff. And some of their other brands, I guess. So they sent a 50% off one item coupon. And so I got another skein of the Loops and Threads Charisma. And I've gotten this colorway before. This is the one that I used. I had gotten a voucher years ago. It was like last year. It feels like years ago, all the stuff I've done in the past year. I had gotten it and with a voucher for free. And so I used it to make a bookmark. I still have a little bit left. But I used it to make a bookmark because it's like, see, I can't talk like that. It'd be boring as heck. But because it's bulky yarn, the skein, the bookmark just didn't turn out nice. It's too big, and I tried to like make the colors in the right sequence, but it didn't work right. And so so I bought this before, but anyway, so this one's called Primary Multi, and because it has like all the primary colors in it, red, which feels a little bit more orange than red, and then like a purple, blue, green, yellow, whatever, like the primary colors, but they're not in any specific order. So that's what I tried to do with that bookmark, but it just didn't turn out right. But anyway, so I have a lot of these now. So I feel like these are hats in my head. They're the perfect amount for like a hat this size, and so so those are like all the Michael skeins and all that, and I think that's all. Let me see if because I write down notes too to try to organize this jumbled up mess in my head. Anyway, let me go through my notes or whatever and see if there's anything else. Or I do need to talk about it when my niece came over, but otherwise let me see. Yeah, I think that's all. Other than my niece coming over and all that kind of stuff, that story. This video is going to be way longer than I expected it to. Probably because of that whole MADtv tangent and all the stuff about shirts or whatever. But anyway, so my niece finally came back over here, and I was just like wondering, what is she going to think when she sees my wall? So she walked in with my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law loved it too. Like I was like nervous in a good way to see what my niece said about my wall, because I knew that she would love it and just like her mind would be blown. But I was almost kind of nervous to see what my sister-in-law and brother would say about the wall too, because how ridiculous it looked. And but my brother had seen it a couple days before that, because my tire went flat and he had to change the tire and all this stuff. It's this whole other story. All this crap. Stupid, tire went flat and everything. And so he came over and he saw it, and he was just like, "Oh, it's really cool." Or he doesn't really sound like that. That's how every straight guy in my head sounds like. "Oh, yeah, it's cool." But he said it like it looked really cool and whatever. In the way he actually talks, but like in my head, that's how he talks. And so, but he thought it looked really cool or whatever. And so he probably helped to ease into my sister-in-law and maybe my niece knowing what it looked like, because he probably he had to have gone home and said like he put up a yarn wall, and I was like, I don't know if he did or not, but and so when my niece came with my sister-in-law just said, "Oh, you're really nice," like she really loved it, and so I was like relieved. I was hoping that or I was afraid that they were going to walk in and say, "Oh my God," like or what. I just thought, of course they wouldn't do that, but like in my head, that's what I thought was going to happen. Anytime anybody sees this, I'm thinking that they're going to think, "Oh God," like I'm already feel like a ridiculous person. Not that that they've ever made me feel that way. I feel that way myself or whatever, and I think that everybody else is gonna feel I'm as ridiculous as I feel about myself. But no, everybody's really nice, but you know what I'm saying. I just feel like, oh, somebody's gonna look at it and think, "Oh God, you are ridiculous," but it's all in my head. And so because my whole, you know, being self-conscious and self-worth, all that stuff, issues. And so, I was, but, you know, she loved it too, and my brother loved it, and I thought it looked cool, you know, cool. And then, he doesn't sound like that. And then, almost, and then my niece came in, and so, she was just like, her eyes, you know, practically popped out of her head, and she loved it, and I actually caught her, like, laying on the floor in here. I was like walking through, and then she was just like laying on the floor randomly. I'm just like staring up at it, because you should. She a couple times she said I have to like turn my head like this just to look at the top, and so then I was like was walking in here randomly. I had to go to the kitchen, and then I saw her. She was just like laying on the floor in the laundry room, like, you know, flat on the floor, just like looking up at it and like looking at all the yarn. Like she was just like so like mind blown about it, and just like staring at it all day, and of course she loved her little yarn wall thing too and stuff, and she got to crochet and stuff. And then she's one of those like tablet kids, you know, with the phones and all that stuff. She knows more about that stuff than I do. And so and she's always like talking to her friends and stuff. And she's was like on her iPad or whatever with some of her friends, and like a couple of her friends she like brought in here like on the thing, but like she took them in here and said, oh, I have to show you something. And then she showed them my ridiculous yarn wall and stuff, and because I could like hear her saying, yeah, this is all my uncle's yarn, look. And she was like showing them her yarn too, and like, oh, this is mine, and then this is my uncle's, and then she was like, you know, turn it to the to show these. And I was like a little embarrassed, but it made me feel good that, you know, she loved it so much that she wanted to show her friends, and God knows what they thought, but whatever. She was really proud of it, and she really loved her little yarn wall and stuff. She was showing all her yarns and stuff. She loved hers and stuff, and so she got to crochet with some of her yarn, and it was a little difficult for her to crochet with that big thick yarn, but she went to that first. She wanted to use that big crochet hook, of course, and wanted to use that Bernat blanket big. And I heard her say to one of her friends on the thing, she said, yeah, and because I told her that, like, and it's literally called big, look, and she was like looking at the label, and then I heard her tell her friends later on, she was like, and look, and it's literally called big, like she kept saying it over and over again, and so it was just like funny to see her reaction to like all the yarn and everything. And of course she loved that, you know, pillow thing, you know, the one that's like this, it's yellow, it's on her little wall thing. But she was crocheting with like that big thick yarn, and it was hard for her to like go into the chain to like, you know, see the V's and stuff. So what she did was she just used it and made like a really long chain. She eventually like pulled it out because she just wanted to like make a really long chain with it. She basically practically chained up the whole skein, and she had to like because it was so big, she had to kind of like hold the hook and like use her hands to kind of do it, and it turned out really nice and stuff. But she just loved it, and she played around with a couple skeins of her Bernat blanket, like the cakes of yarn and stuff, and she loved it or whatever. And she saw the I filmed it in for the organization video where I organized my yarn wall. She I got to pull out some of that velvet yarn that I feel like I'm gonna put out that video as, you know, as long as it's gonna be. But if I haven't put it out yet, the velvet yarn that I got from the Hobby Lobby clearance, I went back and got my niece one of each of those, except for the cream color. I just went ahead and got her the pastel color, and then the teal and the green and the red, and so because I thought like it would it'd be like yarn that she could use, but then also I wanted her to, like, you know, be able to pull out some of the yarn and unravel or whatever, unravel it or whatever. God. And so I wanted her to be able to do that, and so she loved like pulling a little bit of that out, but it's still in a skein or whatever. But so she got to do that with her yarn, and then I forget what else. I wrote down little notes and stuff. That might be it. But she just, you know, had fun seeing my, and then she did this thing. She went over to my yarn wall, and then she said, don't watch, nothing's happening, and then she would like go over and, like, you know, pull a skein out and run with it like as if she was taking it. That was a lot of fun, watching, like, you know, why is she going into the yarn room or like the laundry room, and then, you know, occasionally it would just be like, oh, she just wanted to like get some of her yarn, or she was like laying on the floor looking at mine, or but then, you know, sometimes she'd like, you know, grab a skein and run with it, and so anyway, and then she my throat's dry because I've been talking so long. This is like the second video I've done today. And the skeins that are up there that I got at Joanne, no, the Michaels one, the ones I got for the with the vouchers, the purple. The purplish pink with the variegated that I think would make a nice throw blanket. She said, why do you have so many of that one? Like, she sort of said it like that, like, you know, wondering like why I had so many, like in a way like to say like waiting for me to offer her one or something. But I said that, oh, I had gotten those because I think they'll make a nice throw blanket because see how they match or whatever. And then she didn't say anything else, but I thought, oh, that's exactly what she was like hinting or whatever. She's very good at that, hinting it, because she knows I'm going to give her everything that she wants. And so she was just like, so why do you have so many of that one? Like, you know, the thought bubble over her head was like, because I want one, and if you have that many, you can give me one. But whatever, she has like plenty of yarn to work with and stuff. And she likes the blanket kind of yarn anyway. But anyway, so she finally saw my yarn wall and was just completely mind blown or whatever. And it you know, it wasn't like too I was afraid that she was going to come over and just like, you know, freak out and just like want every single one of them, but she was like really respectful of it, and she was just like almost in awe because she just like didn't want to touch it or didn't want to like, you know, do anything with it because she was I mean, she's like laying on the floor on our laundry room floor just like looking up at it. I mean, she must have really loved it and just blown away by it. But anyway, so I have to like find room on her little wall for this yarn and stuff, so she can play around with that next time she comes over or whatever. But anyway, I think that's all that I have to say in this video. What is this video going to turn out like? I know I went off on like 4 or 5 different tangents or whatever. God, this is going to be this video is probably going to be as long as my makes video or something. It's going to take, you know, 2 days to upload. This is just supposed to be like a little yarn. I thought I'd done a yarn haul video, or you know, before this, where I was showing the yarn that I got in at Goodwill, and I was thinking, oh, well, this is going to be like, I'll just save this one for last because this is going to be like the easy one. It's going to be like just really short. And here I'm talking about, oh, and Professor Lincoln heavily passed back. It's ridiculous. It seems like, you know, hardly anybody's probably watching this point. What I'll do is, like, if you actually watch to this point and you actually want to know what that is, how to say that, I can throw that in at the end. And if you don't care, then, you know, I'll just say thank you for watching, and, you know, like and subscribe, comment down below, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, now so if you actually want to learn that thing, you can watch the whole MADtv sketch. It's like I forget exactly what it's called. It's like the whatever for unwed mothers thing, and I don't know if it's on YouTube or if it's streaming somewhere or what, but anyway, so what Deborah Wilson's line is, the one that I first learned, is she looks at the camera and I'll say it like really slowly, so that for me it's probably gonna be even too fast when I do it slowly, but she says, and once Professor Lickenhafen Philippe Hassenbeck made his remarkable discovery about the snappy-tricken pinto-packer syndrome, the Fesser Lippenchip Chalk-Withering Lick-Tackle-Theft Foundation sprang into action. So, like, the Fesser Lippenchip Chalk-Withering Lick-Tackle-Theft. So, and so that's like her line. So, that's what she says. And then, the one that there are a couple other names that they say, and so I took that, and then I found a way to like work those other names in, even though it doesn't make any sense in the context of the joke or in the sketch. But I did that, you know, for myself to like be able to like say those names over and over again and better my diction, which, you know, ended up making it where I'm even more of a motor mouth. But whatever. So the line that I came up with all the other names is I work with, it also sounds like something that, like, if somebody ever, like some idiot that, you know, is too nosy or whatever out in public that talk, I hate when people talk to me in public, and they're like, oh, so what do you do? Like, I don't even know who this person is or whatever, and then I have to, like, come up with something, I'm a artist and writer and crocheter, like, what do you write, or you have anything published yet, or what do you crochet, or like those people that are too nosy, you just feel like saying, oh, I work at McDonald's, like, leave me alone, or whatever. You just feel like saying, you know, something just, like, something really simple and easy. I'm a lawyer, or like, what you just want to say something just like so they leave you alone. And so I thought it would be funny to come up with a way to say it. It sounds like a way to like put people off or like push people off because they don't know what you just said. And so of course then, you know, my luck, they would have even more follow-up questions and be like, what did you say? Well, what does that mean? Or like whatever. And so I'm a researcher, you know, and then they're like, you know, what do you research? And it's like, well, I work with Professor Lickenhafen Philly Passenbeck and Ramon von Klacken-Ducken-Tackle-Fattenhusen researching the snappy chicken pinto packer syndrome at the Fesser Lippenchip Chalk Withering Lick Tackle Foundation for Unwed Mothers. Like that's... See how ridiculous of a person I am. I came up with that with all those names or whatever, and have, you know, learned it so much that I can say it really quickly. So, I work with Professor Lickenhafen Philly Passenbeck and Ramon von Klacken-Ducken-Tackle-Fattenhusen research of the snappy chicken pinto packer syndrome at the Fesser Lippenchip Chalk Withering Lick Tackle Foundation for Unwed Mothers. Just a ridiculous person. My mom loves when I do that. I've said it to other people, whatever. They just think it's, you know, they think it's hilarious, but, you know, they probably also think it's freaking ridiculous. But that I've actually learned that. But anyway, so if you want to learn that, if you have any kind of issues with your if you're self-conscious, as self-conscious as I am about my diction or whatever, and you stumble on your words or you stutter like I do or whatever, maybe you can learn those that tongue twister. Maybe it'll improve your diction. I guess just don't learn it too much because then you might become a motor mouth like I am. It helps to better my diction. So even if I do talk really quickly or whatever to keep up with my mind, at least it's hopefully coming out in a way where you can actually understand it, where you can actually like slow it down, like when they do how you can do on YouTube or whatever. And usually most people talk like this, but like for me, I would just be talking really normally probably if you like slow down with my speech or whatever. But anyway, so I just thought I'd throw that in at the end. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and stuff, and looking at all this stuff and my ridiculous tangents or whatever. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I've already said, you know, like and subscribe, comment down below, all that stuff. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one.